How's it going, folks? So, today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the new album from Sinner. The name of this album is Brotherhood. This bad boy comes out July 15th. And y'all know, before I get into the nitty gritty, let's check out the cover. So, boom, there it is. Take a look at that. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I think it looks really, really cool. I love just, it's kind of got like a Halloween kind of Dia de los Muertos vibe to it, with this person here. Like part of them is kind of a skull. It's almost as if their true, face is coming through or something. I don't know if it has to do with being in the moonlight or whatever. It's like, maybe this person is, um, they're dead and it's being revealed that they are, or it's just showing, the fragility, I guess, of the human life. I don't fully know what's being conveyed here, but I guess that maybe there's always something beneath the surface that you don't always get to see. But yeah, it just looks really cool though, and I love the kind of Halloween kind of feel and vibes. Looks like they're out there in a cemetery, and yeah, I just think it looks cool. It's definitely eye catching, and the way that Sinner is up there at the top. It's called Brotherhood. So yeah, I dig this cover. I think it looks really, really neat. Make a cool poster or something. As far as conveying what you can expect, if you just happen to see this album, you've never heard of Sinner before, um, yeah, I think it does a pretty good job. The cover, I think, gives off vibes of like a hard rock slash heavy metal kind of album, and that's pretty much what you're gonna get. So I think it does a good job on both fronts, looking cool and also giving you an idea, just if you're looking at it, on what you can expect. You're not gonna pick this up thinking it's pop or something like that. I think you'll know you're kind of in the metal genre, possibly hard rock. So yeah, I think it works pretty good. As far as the album itself, this bad boy's got 12 tracks, and it comes in just shy of an hour. And yeah, this is Matt Sinner's band. That's why it's appropriately titled Sinner. And my man's been around for quite some time. He's been in the scene, uh, again, with Primal Fear and, all that good stuff. So he knows metal like to the back of his hand. And he's had this band going for a very long time as well. So it definitely has that heavy metal sound that you would expect. Anyone who's familiar with Matt Sinner, or any of his works with other bands and whatnot, you pretty much already have an idea of what you can get here. But what I like is there's a little something different. It's not like you're just getting a Primal Fear album, or you're just getting something kind of straightforward. There's a little something extra here that really kind of makes it more unique, and helps it stand out a little bit. It makes it memorable. Again, pretty much you getting some solid hard rock slash heavy metal, with just, I'm sure you can imagine, just killer guitar work here. That really is the lifeline of the album, is the guitar work. Just really, really great rhythms, and really great solo work, and just the songwriting is really solid. There's a lot of hooks, a lot of catchy melodies, very melodic. So you get some songs that hit you a lot more hard and heavy, and you get other songs that show a little bit more of a, when I say emotion, like, of course, if something's hitting you hard and heavy and it's aggressive, that's emotion too. But I guess I'm thinking of something that's a little bit lighter, more reflective, perhaps, in there. And there's a couple other surprises throughout, which is really, really cool. So, at its heart, this is heavy metal with a strong emphasis on guitar. But the musicianship is really, really great too. Keeping up with them, with the drums and the bass, and all of that. So it just, has that quality, again, that you could expect, or if you're unfamiliar, it just has this really good classic um, feeling, hard rock, heavy metal, uh, but like, with the modern times, with a modern twist put in there as well, so that you're not listening to an album that's from the 80s or 90s. This is a modern hard rock, heavy metal album, but it has that flavor, that the influences and all that is there, which of course makes sense because he was making music through those decades and all of that. So it's part of him, and that really comes through here. And the vocals, I don't even need to say very much because the vocals are all fantastic. He got great guest vocalists here to contribute their stellar vocal skills. Guests such as Ralph Sheepers, of course, Ronnie Romero, Tom England. So there's really great vocals, and each one of them brings their own personality to the song, and helps make it something. Um, you have that bass there, the song itself, or the music and all of that, which is really solid, really great, and then the vocalists come in and put their little touch to it, their characteristics, and that really helps. They bring out the best in the music, and the music brings out the best in them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it all just fits really well. The vocalists were chosen really well, and they contribute, again, just they're they're all great at what they do. And one thing that I really like is it kind of feels like you're seeing the genre and the music industry through Matt Sinner's eyes, from his journey, from decades ago all the way up through now, and how he sees the genre and just music and metal in general, how he sees it now in the world and all of that. So it almost feels like a retrospective in a sense, and you just get that through the music and the lyrics, and it's just really cool. That's one thing that kind of gives it a little extra spark that I enjoyed. So I mean, it starts out with Bulletproof and track two, As We Came to Rock. Both of those just really kind of hit you hard and heavy. Really what you expect, with just driven guitars and catchy melodies in the chorus, all of that good stuff. And then Reach Out and Brotherhood, they're a little bit more on the lighter side. Brotherhood is almost like a anthem, if you will, that is part of what makes me feel like this is kind of a retrospective about being amongst brothers and this and that. So it's just really cool. The song that really surprised me and blew me away was track six, The Last Generation. There's a lot of symphonic elements here, and that is not what I was expecting. This song is probably my favorite on the album. It's just so cool. It's just done so well, and again, with the symphonic elements, I just really added a lot, with Matt Sinner's style in there, and getting that thrown in as well. It just really cool. So I enjoyed that a lot. Track eight, The Man They Couldn't Hang, is another one that is just um, full of emotion, and just you just feel how he's feeling, and it's just really done well. Track nine, The Rocker Rides Away. Again, you can even tell just based on the titles of these songs, um, what I mean about him being reflective, kind of, and just. But still, has that energy. He's still rocking, still going, and he's proven that metal hasn't died or anything like that. It may have changed over the years, but and he's adapted with it, and it just really neat, how you get that sense, and it ends well with the proper ending. Track 11, 40 Days, 40 Nights, is a nice close to the album, but then you get a bonus song, which is the only track that honestly didn't quite land for me. It's a cover of the Killers' classic song "When You Were Young." I don't know, this style, it just didn't really lend itself too much to that song, and I don't know if it's just because that song, I was really into the Killers way back in the day, and I've heard that song so much, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't quite jive with me. But again, that's the bonus song. But tracks 1 through 11, though, really solid. Again, what you would expect from a work by Matt Sinner, plus some extra little surprises and flavors thrown in for good measure to keep it interesting and keep you engaged. So yeah, it's not the type of album that I would say sets the world on fire or really changes the game or anything like that. But it's certainly solid. And again, it's a cool journey to kind of experience this almost as if you're experiencing it with Matt Sinner and the way that he wrote these songs. So yeah, it's worth the trip, especially if you're a fan and or if you just like hard rock and heavy metal. There's a lot for y'all to enjoy here. So I dug it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've heard this yet, what y'all think of it, or if you're excited for it. How long have you been a fan of Matt Sinner's work? And I always give you one song. If you're like, oh, tell me one song for me to listen to decide whether this album's for me or not. I would probably go with track two, "We Came to Rock." I think that really encapsulates, the whole album. Uh, in that one song, the best, you get that great punchy, driven uh, heavy metal guitar, but you get a really nice melodic chorus, and it just has a lot of the elements that you'll hear throughout the whole album. But the one song that I will say though is a do not miss is track six, "The Last Generation." Really great stuff. So I'll leave y'all with that. That's my thoughts there on the latest album from Sinner called Brotherhood. And I'll catch y'all next time, Ranger.